Grab a book, take a look, brain goes, whoa, mind's unhooked. Snack attack, oops, you shook. Plot twist, spilled your soup, oh no. Look, page is gone, where's your book?
Yeah, it's actually like a running joke in my house. Like we have books in every single room, in the bed, the kitchen, like even the bathrooms, books in the bathroom because we read like everywhere. So I've always been a reader. My mom and my dad are really big readers, so I can really owe like my love of reading to them.
You're listening to Impact Please, a charity podcast, and your host, Usha Rao. Each episode is an exclusive showcase of one grassroots nonprofit. Be the change you want to see and invest in lasting impact.
Books, they take you on journeys real and imaginary, to people, places, past, present, and future, with feelings of joy, sorrow, fear, pride, and gratitude. On this episode, we take you where books go, on a journey across the globe with the aptly named nonprofit, The Joy of Reading. You can smell the books, not the fresh smell of new books from a bookstore, but those that have been read, touched, and felt many times by little hands that have reluctantly yet willingly parted ways with them. All children's books, still in good condition, that have traveled from all over the United States to this basement tucked away in a home in Redmond, Washington, in the United States, where the idea was born, took shape, and grew wings.
So he rescues books from landfill, and he's another amazing soul. He goes to this place where all the used books are put on a conveyor belt, and then it scans all the books that can be sold online. But then there is a big gurney. He stands by there, and then he and his wife, they actually have another empty gurney, and then they'll actually start sorting the books. But the amount of books that got rescued from there, a few thousand books last year, and those are already in India, and they're all sorted and they're in schools, the kids are reading. Bless his heart.
Madhu Gadde, the founder of Joy of Reading. If you met her once, you have found a place in her database and will surely find some use there soon, like the books. 15 years ago, friends and family who heard the call for action went on full throttle, put aside books that their children had outgrown. Teens embarked on book drives in their neighborhoods. Even a stranger on eBay parted with loads of books from her basement. It still was not enough.
And I knew that a lot of elementary schools had used book sales as part of their PTSA fundraising. So I connected with some elementary schools after their sales and said, what do you do with your books that are left after your sale? And I was able to start then kind of collecting books from, we got kind of on a schedule with knowing when they were having their sales and then collecting books afterwards so that we could get the books for free. And it helped the local PTSA to deal with their leftover books as well. Kind of a win-win.
Stephanie Allgood started off as a well-wisher. Children and books are her forte, having worked at schools and libraries and raised 5 children of her own. It was serendipity that created a chance meeting with Madhu. Once she met her, well, she went into Madhu's database.
I have a tendency to describe Madhu as visionary, and her vision is gigantic. And I tend to be the more pragmatic, reel it in approach. And so that, I think, was helpful to her.
Stephanie joined the board of Joy of Reading. today is the monthly book sorting day at the basement of Madhu's house. A book party of sorts. 20 children and adults are sorting the books, leveling, and labeling them. These events are planned at regular intervals here. They also happen at the Microsoft and Salesforce offices to spread the message and give an opportunity for people to use their volunteer hours for a good cause, which is matched by companies in dollars.
And usually, if people are traveling to India, a family of four, you get like 8 suitcases. And not everybody takes 8 from here. Whenever we do our events, we ask people, hey, if you're going to travel, especially if you're traveling for work, you can just check in a luggage. And we even try to make it very, very simple. I said, like, my brother or somebody would come and pick it up from the airport.
With sorting and leveling done, it's time for the long haul, the journey across the globe. The books are neatly packed in old suitcases that have been meticulously gathered from people, yard sales, and thrift stores. With the prohibitive costs of transportation, Team Joy of Reading has streamlined a not so perfect yet creative solution.
Again, Stephanie Allgood and Dave Allgood, my goodness, I mean, those two people are my rock stars. And Dave actually, whenever he goes to Value Village, he just retired. So they also get employee discount even after they retire. So they'll use the discount, and pretty much like we get suitcases anywhere between $5 to $10.
And so it was a result of that desire on her part to make a difference in the world. She pulls people along with her with a smile on her face and gets people to be involved and engaged with doing things at whatever level they can do them. She is a force of nature.
Madhu came to Seattle in the year 2000 to work for a tech company like everybody else. Her passion for work that impacts people in need soon outpaced all her other needs.
What really, really happens beyond the funds like that we raise, and what are the grassroots level problems. And that actually changed our perspective in terms of like not just writing a check, but actually getting involved to a point where how can we all collaborate together?
As one of the core volunteers of the nonprofit Cry in Seattle, Madhu learned the art of giving and getting. Today, the volunteer team brings in close to $500,000, all going towards children and education.
He was asking me to read like the fourth book. And I asked him, how old are you? He said 3. Then I said, Arya, 3 books is it? I'll read 4 books when you're 4. So on his 4th birthday, he was jumping and he's like, yeah, you get to read me 4 books. So then he asked a very innocent question, as in like, how do they sleep in the night? So that is when it hit me hard, because my child who's living in the US, and we have the luxury of books, and also parents who are able to actually read, make time and read to them. So I guess like in his little mind, he thought all the kids in the world had books to read. So for him, it was a big deal that they don't have it.
She's talking about her son Arya visiting a village in India, as they often do. The question he asked hit deep enough. The number of books that traveled that first time, a whopping 14,000. Joy of Reading was born and named just so. Back to our books journey. They have traveled halfway around the world from a basement with well meaning people they don't know in old suitcases they have cozily called home, only to be unpacked into another basement, that of Madhu's parents in Hyderabad, India. The first 12 years, her parents graciously donated the space and took great care of the books. Bookshelves made their way into that space. her two children, uncles, aunts, cousins, friends. Remember her database? Everybody played a role.
It is a lot of sacrifices, right? I mean, whenever people come to pick up books or my volunteers go there, Amma would be ready, like depending on the weather, like if it's hot, she would make buttermilk or lemon juice and then send it. And she has back surgery twice, so she can't go up and down the stairs that much. And she has asthma, so that doesn't suit her. But still, she would do it. And if she didn't stand by me in 2011, 2012, there was no joy of reading. I mean, definitely. And Ramagaru, I mean, bless her heart, she says, Madhu, I didn't do much. But no, I mean, those two were like my rock stars for the first, like till 2014, 2015.
The Navodaya Residential School for Rural Students in Hyderabad was the first library set up by Joy of Reading. Today, there are more than 175 libraries in different cities across India, either directly or in partnership with other nonprofits. Like all other rock stars in her life, Madhu attributes this to Team India.
I think that process, it takes 1 to 2 months, but thoroughly enjoy that actually. So we'll walk around the streets in Hyderabad trying to find like where we can get the best possible price for
Furniture.
certain furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, we'll have to find a painter and we come up with designs. Then we'll all sit and search for these beautiful designs.
Government schools are totally different. They don't have such kind of luxury also. So we used to think it should be simple, it should be nice, and it should be best. For our budget,
Yeah,
it used to
correct.
be in the summer vacation kind of time, like in May. And then we used to go, then we used to set up the library. Then whoever had actually sponsored, we called them for inauguration, and the principal and the other teachers.
Jyotsna and Shiny, two volunteers of Team Hyderabad, talking about setting up an end-to-end library, this one in Madinaguda. They dedicate 2 days every week to a cause they are passionate about, spreading the joy of reading to children who otherwise would not have this opportunity.
So the dream was one library. And I think a lot of numbers got added because of the Telangana welfare residential schools. And especially Harini in India, her passion to actually make sure that the kids read. And she goes down to the level of going to the government schools and actually teaching them phonetics. And so we expanded a lot. And that teacher training and librarian training, that took off very, very well.
We have seen how these kids actually improve. Like this small push through reading, their grades change, their confidence comes up. And through mentorship and all, in a year's time, we see this amazing change.
I would like my big thing for starting this project, and the reason I chose to work somewhere out of India is because I really wanted to connect more to India because it's a country that I'm ethnically from, but obviously I've never lived there. And doing this project because I was working in areas that I might not otherwise have gone to, it definitely gave me some more exposure to different areas of the country.
That is Akanksha, a high school junior in California with a reading obsession that started young. It was Girl Scouts that instilled in her the value of community and giving back, she says. She loves being with children and charted this project with Joy of Reading as her Girl Scout capstone project.
And so then the last day, the library got set up. We started running some reading level assessments, and the kids were so excited about the books. Like after we completed like doing a reading level assessment, we told them just go sit in the library and pick up a book, and they were like so excited to look at the book. So that was really sweet to see. Actually, right when I was about to leave, a group of kids just approached me and was like, "Can you read?" They asked me like, "Can you read this book aloud to me?" That was like I think a really fun moment because we were reading the book together simultaneously.
Akanksha has created a replicatable system. She reached out to friends, contacted elementary schools, libraries, and parents, and hosted book drives. She held youth book sorting events, packed books in suitcases, had family and friends carry them to India. In all, she transported 3,000 books. She set aside her Girl Scout funds for library furniture. She worked with Team India on the ground. A mini Madhu of sorts, just for a year. She now plans to raise funds for computer and Wi Fi access to the schools because she has another dream.
And definitely there's something that I really want to do is setting up a reading buddy program over Zoom. Because I think one of the things that I really noticed when I went there is that these kids, they don't have people reading to them at home. And so they were so excited when I was able to sit down and read them just a picture book. And that was really a big deal for them. And I think it's really important that kids get read aloud to. I was read aloud to probably every day of my life growing up, and it's one of the things that really helps you form like that bond between the book and yourself.
Because they are trying to send their children to the schools and they're trying to get educated, which they have not that luxury. They're doing it. So I feel we should also help them out in such things. We have all the luxuries in our life. Why can't we
Yes.
give small thing to all these kids? You go to the schools, you feel, yes, you have a personal satisfaction actually.
Me and Meena are looking at the kitten. He was eating. Meena is.
I think that the big outcome that I want to see out of this is I want to see those kids be able to fall in love with reading the way I fell in love with reading, still love reading, right?
My mom passed away about 8 years ago, and I've been wanting to do something in her memory for quite some time. And this thought came up that she loved to read, she loved to encourage us to read, and she was a big proponent of education. So I wanted to do something to remember her in that way. Younger days, she used to live in Vijayawada for some time. And so it seemed like she had a lot of happy days spent in that town. It felt natural that that's where we should set up the library. From there, working with the principal, and Madhu was great at coordinating all of that with the India team as well.
You could dedicate a library in the memory of your loved one. You could sponsor a library through your company. You could start a library in your own home, inviting all the kids in the neighborhood to enjoy the books. You could become a part of Joy of Reading and volunteer your time. That is so much more precious. And please join us in this wonderful journey to explore the world of books with children.
Read, read, read. Let's open a book. Adventure and magic are waiting to look. Turn every page, let your dreams take flight. Stories and fun from morning to night. Woo! Inspired by this story? Like, share, and subscribe. Have a group of friends or family interested in making the impact journey together? Write to us at impactplease@gmail.com. Visit www.impactplease.org to find more inspiring stories. Opening and closing announcements and vocal sound effects by Aparna Narsu and Sitar by Sampada Bhalerao.